Well, that sounds a little scary, but yeah. I always wrote, but I didn't really take it that seriously. It just was, the idea was just to be an actor. And then I was a theater major at Northwestern University in Illinois. Really freshman year that I wasn't being cast, and it continued. And I had a rather pragmatic point of view, maybe because I was from New York City and had been going to Broadway shows since I was a kid. And I really did get the feeling that, wow, if I'm not being cast in university theater, I may have a hard time of it in real showbiz. When I would come home from vacation, back to New York, and this is in the early 70s, I was exposed to more and more experimental theater. And it was kind of a wonderful period of really legendary experimental theater artists, like particularly Charles Ludlam, who was an extraordinary writer, director, actor who had his own company, the Ridiculous Theatrical Company, down here in the Village. And that showed me that a theatrical experience could be whatever I chose it to be. That it didn't have to just be in commercial theater. And that prompted me to write. I love the kind of puzzle of it. Writing a first draft is rather agony and just a chore, and does take great discipline just to sit there and there's kind of a blank page and try to come up with something. And I prepare for it by I write a lot of notes and different things so that to try to avoid that was the blank computer screen. But then there's a certain point, and in each play it becomes different, but sometimes frustratingly late in the process. But eventually you sort of really literally feel the wheels of the wagon start to creak and to move and to go faster and faster, and then whoa, you're going, and then oh boy, then it's a joy, and then it's not a discipline, it's an addiction. Well, primary stages, where I have a real history, they did a play of mine, You Should Be So Lucky, in 1994, and I just really had such a fondness for Andrew Lindsay and Casey Childs and just everybody at primary stages, and we've wanted to work together, I think, for a long time. So they asked me to write a play for them, and I was thinking about an old character actress that I had once worked with, who was rather cantankerous and had a kind of outrageous character, and I thought about the different actresses who don't necessarily have the most distinguished careers, but they stayed in it, earned their living, and so I started thinking about that kind of lady. And then I've got a number of different mirrors in my apartment, and when you've got a mirror on one wall and then another wall, you can sometimes see a mirror within the mirror, and I've always found that rather haunting. And because you can't really see into you can almost see into the mirror within the mirror, but not quite at your angle. And I thought, what would it be if suddenly you saw another person in the mirror, but can you see him or can you not? You know, so and I love a little bit of an element of a ghost story, so I threw that into the mix. So there you have it. And that really was the inspiration for Olive and the Bitter Herbs. You know, I'm in my 50s now, and it's an odd kind of age in a way, because you can look at it in different ways, and you can sort of think that you're, you know, now slightly moving toward this way. But then that's really a bad attitude, and so I'm trying to, you know, force myself into thinking that I'm here, and I can keep going and maybe still go further. And there are a lot of things I'd like to do. I've got a million ideas. You know, I have so many discarded ideas, and I find more and more I'm sort of taking some of those little bits of other ideas and bringing them back and adding to them. And I'd like to do more plays. I'd like to do more films too. I've only made a couple movies, and the last one what I actually directed. I wrote, directed, started, and went straight to video. But it was a great experience, and I'm dying to do that again. So I wrote one novel. I'd like to try another one. So yeah, I think I'm at a good age to try to keep learning and growing. And Olive and the Bitter Herbs, I think, is a really good play. I'm very excited about it. I'm very proud of it. It takes me in a little bit of a different direction.